प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. By the infinite grace of Lord Krishna, we are studying the Bhagavadgita in the light of the commentary of Shankaracharya. We have started a very important shloka, the last class, the shloka being the 39th shloka of the second chapter. Yesha te abhihita sankhye buddhiryoge tu imam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Yesha te abhihita sankhye buddhihi. Sankhya buddhi and the yoga buddhi. There are two kinds of knowledge. One is the knowledge of the reality, the Atma Vastu. In the words of Shankara, Paramartha Vastu Viveka, the absolute reality which is one without a second, which is called Atman or the Brahman. The knowledge with regard to that is called the Sankhya Buddhi. So far what I have instructed you is the Sankhya Buddhi. What I am going to tell you further is Yoga Buddhi. Yoge tu imam shrunu. From now onwards, I am going to teach you Yoga Buddhi, and Yoga means here Karma Yoga. How to perform our activities. What should be the motive behind all our activities? Because we suffer very much from our activities, our duties, performing our duties, and the duties have become burden to us, and we are suffering from what is called the raga and dvesha, two kinds of attachments, attachment and aversion, and we very much suffer. We are miserable. How to avoid that? How to do work with effectively? How to do work efficiently? How to do work with one-pointed mind, with concentration, and all the more, how to enjoy the work, how to find the immaculate peace and happiness while doing the work. This is the subject I am going to discuss further. That's what Krishna says here. Yesha te abhihita sankhye buddhir yogam yoge tu imam shrunu. Now I am going to tell you Yoga Buddhi, the notion or the knowledge about the Karma Yoga. And he prizes that. See, the psychology is, if a lecturer or the teacher starts his lesson, he should draw the attention of the students by praising the subject and telling about the significance, the importance of the subject. That is what the great teacher Krishna is doing now. This is the method followed in our scriptures. Before introducing the subject, a significance of the subject, the importance of the subject is told. The same method is being followed in the Gita also. Buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyati. Here Buddhi once again is Yoga Buddhi. So there are Sankhya Buddhi and the Yoga Buddhi. Sankhya Buddhi has already been instructed. What I am going to instruct you is Yoga Buddhi, Karma Yoga Buddhi, and through the Karma Yoga, through the knowledge, through the truth of this Karma Yoga, what happens? He Partha, Karma Bandham Prahasyasi. So here there are many translations you will find in the books. What is meant by Buddhi? So one translation doesn't satisfy us, so we have to derive the meaning from several translations. Here Buddhi means conviction. Conviction, with some conviction or the bent of mind, we have to do the work. That may be called the Yoga Buddhi or Karma Yoga Buddhi. Second one is wisdom. Before doing any work or in work in general, we have to have some kind of knowledge, wisdom. We have to be matured. We should not do work in random without any purpose or the objective or the knowledge. So the knowledge and the work. First knowledge, we have to derive the knowledge. We have to gain the wisdom. We have to have the conviction. Then we should set out to do the work. That is the idea. The problem with us is our only motive of doing work is money or the pleasures or some status in the society. And they are all temporal and they are all transient. They don't give us any permanent happiness. And sometimes they give immense misery, suffering also. The idea is to set out or have some kind of conviction or the wisdom or the knowledge through which we can transform our work into something better, spiritual. Spirituality is to know oneself, to our own nature, about God and the Atman. How our work will help us to gain that knowledge. Can I transform my work into something knowledge? Knowledge is very difficult to attain. Knowledge is impossible for unpurified mind, the mind which is not concentrated. So knowledge needs concentrated mind and the purified mind. So how to get the purity of mind and the concentrated mind? It is through work. And how to do work? We are doing work with mainly the passions, all kinds of sentiments, emotions, and this kind of work will not give us concentration and the purity of the mind. By doing work, we have to have that purity and the concentration. What kind of conviction we have, what kind of wisdom we should have, what kind of knowledge we should have, that is signified in the word Buddhi according to the commentators. By this Buddhi or the Yoga Buddhi, Buddhi or the wisdom or the the wisdom or the conviction or the knowledge concerning Karma Yoga, Yaya Buddhya Yuktaha, endowed with kind of wisdom regarding Karma Yoga, you will be able to break the Karma Bandha, Karma Bandham Prahasyasi, or you will abandon the Karma Bandha. So the way Shankara defines Karma Bandha is very unique. Karma, according to the ancient Indian tradition, is of two types. One is dharma, another is adharma. Dharma is righteous action, adharma is unrighteous action. Both will bind the person. Both will make us to transmigrate from birth to earth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. That itself is called the karma bandha. So both good and bad is like a fetter or the bondage to us. Swami Vivekananda says in his Karma Yoga, it is not that good is something very noble. There is something superior than even good actions. What is superior to even good actions? The knowledge is better than even the good actions. The progress or the path of a sadhaka is clearly outlined in our tradition. First, we should not act according to our instincts. We should not be propelled by the basic passions like anger, attachment and aversion, etc. We should not be with the desires of the basic nature, lust and greed, etc. That is the first point. Secondly, we should adopt those words which are sanctioned by the scriptures. These duties are called the dharma. That means we should always follow the righteous path and abandon the unrighteous path. Even those actions we follow according to the scriptural sanction, that is called dharma, we should try to do without any motive, without selfishness. And we are going to read soon, we should dedicate all our karmas to the God, Ishwara Aradhanartham, for the worship of God, for the adoration of God, without any selfish motive. We should be able to do it. Then we get the qualification to have the knowledge. Our mind will be purified. We will get the concentration of mind. See, though we use two terms, concentration and the purity of mind, both are same. If we have the purity of mind, we can easily get the concentration of mind. Mind will not be distracted. Mind will not be restless. Mind will not be in tension or stress, and that will make our work one-pointed, and that one-pointed work, concentrated work, we should dedicate to the Lord Vishnu or the Lord Krishna, whichever deity we adore. So, Ishwar Aradhanam Karma. That will take us to the knowledge. The God Himself will give that knowledge of Atman or Brahman through which one can realize. This is the plan of action before us according to the Bhagavadgita as highlighted by Shankaracharya. So the question is, already the knowledge of Atman is told, that is the goal. What is the means to that goal or goal? How we can approach the goal? That is what being told here. For that we should develop what is called Yoga Buddhi. Yoga Buddhi, the teaching of Yoga Buddhi or the Karma Yoga Buddhi has been commenced now. Endowed with this kind of Buddhi, Buddhya Yuktaha Yaya, He Partha, O Arjuna, you will be able to destroy the Karma Bandha. As I have already told you, both right action and the wrong action, the good actions and the evil actions, both will lead to kind of desires, and we have to fulfill the desires, and the desires and the fulfillment of desires and the results of the desires all will lead to continuous succession of the birth and the death, Punarapi Jananam and the Punarapi Maranam. So that is a series which is called in tradition Samsara, Samyak Sarati. Continuously it is flowing like a river, continuous. That is called samsara. So we have to put a break to that. So we can put a break to that only doing the actions in a proper manner, in the spiritual manner. If you read Swami Vivekananda's Karma Yoga, you will understand how the karmas themselves will break the karma bandha. If we do karmas or the action in an ordinary manner, with selfish motive, full of greediness, desires and passions like lust and anger, that will strengthen the bondage, and we will be more entangled in that samsara chakra or samsara bandhana. Here it is called a karma bandhana. When we can do the same work with selfless motive and without passions like lust, anger, etc., and dedicating all the actions to the Lord, and then it will become Karma Yoga. The Karma Yoga will be able to destroy the karma bandhana. The karma bandhana is destroyed means the succession of birth and death also cease to exist. We will get knowledge through which we can liberate. That is the plan before us. So that's why Krishna says here, Dhyaya Buddhya, with this conviction or the wisdom and the knowledge, one will be able to destroy the karma bandha. So karma bandha, Shankaracharya says, samsara bhaya, the fear of samsara, taking birth once again and suffering all kinds of miseries and again dying, again taking birth once again. So it's a repeated succession. A mumukshu, one who is an aspirant of moksha, is afraid of the samsara. That's why he wants to get rid of the samsara. So he has to take up this karma yoga in order to break that succession. This is the idea we have here. So Krishna continues to praise the ultimate, appreciate, rather glorify the karma yoga in the next verse also. Neha bhikrama nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate falpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahatu bhayat. Iha means this, in this karma yoga or in this path of yoga. Krishna has not introduced this karma yoga word at all. He introduced the word yoga, buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga here means yoga buddhi. The word yoga buddhi is introduced here. Yoga here means karma yoga, which is going to be instructed in the next 2 or 3 shlokas. So, iha, in this karma yoga, this is also moksha marga, according to Shankaracharya. Some say karma yoga is not the path to liberation. No, it is not so. It is conducive to the knowledge. If we want to be qualified for the knowledge, first you have to be perfect in karma yoga. It is like this. If you want to go to the engineering course or the medical course, you have to get qualified yourself in the pre-university course. Without pre-university or the PUC course, you cannot get entry into the medical or the engineering course. So this is the same idea. Without being perfect karma yogi, one cannot aspire for the knowledge. How is that sannyasins will directly go to jnana yoga? That is because they are people of higher caliber. Their minds are already purified and they have concentrated mind. They are able to grasp the knowledge by the grace of the God. That is why the perfect sannyasin, they are called the Vidvat sannyasis, are able to enter into the knowledge or the path of knowledge directly. But for the most of us, the commoners, we have to follow the path of karma yoga, and then only we will be qualified for the jnana yoga. This is the direction of the Lord Krishna according to Shankaracharya. So yoga marga is also a karma marga. First karma marga, then we will enter to jnana, and then we will get the liberation. Here there are 2 defects of the ordinary works you will not find here. One defect is, when we start a work, there is always danger of discontinuation of the work. So we start a work with great idea, great ideal, and with all dedication. After some time we discontinue it, or due to the natural or due to the hand of God, we say, due to unforeseen circumstances, our work will come to halt. Shankaracharya gives the example of the agriculture here. With great hope of reaping a good harvest, a farmer sows seeds on the fertile land. Due to drought or water scarcity, he may not be able to reap the harvest at all. He may lose the crop in the middle. So that is what is called here abhikrama nasha. So you start a work, you are not able to continue it. You will not find success in that. That is what is called abhikrama nasha. So there is no such thing as failure in the yoga path. Whatever you do in this birth, it will be carried out to the next birth. You will find the idea of yoga prashtha in the Bhagavadgita itself. Suppose I have done this much of sadhana, I was not able to pursue that further and reach the goal. No worry at all. You will continue your sadhana in the next birth by taking birth in a good family or the rich family. This is the idea. So this is abhikramanasha that you will find in the ordinary works, failure of continuation or the failure of getting the results, you will not find in this. So neha bhikrama nashosti, iha in the path of yoga, abhikrama nashaha na asti. I have already explained what is meant by abhikrama nasha. Loss due to incomplete effort. I was not able to complete it. So a boy is studying engineering, 5 years he has to study, he was not able to do it. Oh, I have studied only 3 years, please give me at least half a degree. He will not be awarded even the half a degree. There is no half a degree at all. He has to complete the course, then only he will be able to get the degree award, isn't it? But that defect is not there in the yoga. So you have succeeded little bit, you have gained little bit much, okay, no problem. In the next birth, you will continue to do sadhana from that stage. It is possible. A kind of assurance is given by Krishna here. Next defect you find in the ordinary work, pratyavayaha na vidyate. This pratyavaya is basically a word used in the Mimamsa circles. Suppose if we do a work in a defective way, instead of merit or punya, we get some papa. That is called the pratyavaya here. Contrary effect. Suppose you want merit, a result, a good result, you will get the opposite result because you have not done that action or the ritual correctly, adverse action. Our intentions are good, but in the middle what happens is our mind will go here and there, become corrupt, and we get into evil ways. Then instead of getting a good result, we will get sin out of it. That is what is called pratyavaya. It is a dosha, it is a defect. So Shankara gives chikitsa or the doctor's treatment in this regard. So you go to a good you are supposed to go to a good doctor. Nobody will go to a bad doctor. When we go to a doctor, we all think we are going to a good doctor. But unfortunately, we are caught by a bad person, a wrong person who gives a wrong treatment to us. Instead of a treatment that will reduce the symptoms of disease, the disease increases sometimes. Then we have to go to another doctor. This is a case of pratyavaya. An opposite result we get, contrary to what we have expected. That is what is called pratyavaya. That happens when yajna, yaga and the puja, if we do with selfish motive, if it goes wrong, some sections, some actions, some ceremonies, if you don't do it properly, it will give an opposite effect. So that is what is pratyavaya. That you will find in ordinary circumstances. Suppose a puja is done. Oh, I want to take revenge on somebody who is hating me. I will do some ceremony. It will do bad to him. So if you do it wrongly, it may affect yourself. You may get into bad days, or you may get into trouble. So this is what is called pratyavaya. So is there any kind of opposite effect in or the sinful effect in yoga? Absolutely no. Because you have started with good intention, you have done your might, and you have uh, followed the instructions, but you couldn't carry out, that's all. You couldn't put up extra effort, as much as effort is what is needed, that's all. So there is no sinful effect, there is no adverse effect at all. That is called pratyavaya. So there are two defects which we found in the normal circumstances in this world that you will not find in the yoga. So you are very safe, you are very, very much protected in the path of yoga. That's what Krishna says here. So there is no loss due to incomplete effort, and there is no sin due to failure of doing that. So there is no problem at all. It is something voluntary. You can do it, and you can do as much as you want, as much as you can do, and in the next birth you can continue to do the yoga, to be in the path of yoga. So that is the meaning of the first verse, first line of the verse. Na iha abhikramanashosti pratyavayaha na vidyate. Then what? Svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. This is very important. This is a dharma. Here not in the not in the sense of a right action with selfish motive. This dharma, this rightful action, we do it selflessly, dedicating all our actions to the God. That is dharma here. So dharma here means karma yoga, that we have to understand. Even if we do little bit of this yoga, yoga means dharma means yoga here, that will save us from the bhayat, mahato bhayat, an abundance of fear, great fear. We will be protected. The fear of samsara, fear of misery, fear of what you call the continuous engagement with the worldliness. The worldliness itself is the bhaya. Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati, the Upanishad says. When we are in dualistic state of mind, when we think I am separate from others, that itself is a great fear for us. So we are filled with great amount of fear, fear of different sorts. So fear overpowers us, makes our life really miserable and in vain. So in order to be free from the fear, so we have to follow the dharma or the yoga, even a little bit of svalpamapyasya. This is very important. Of course, if we do this yoga in a complete sense, if we follow the path of yoga and reach our goal, that is best, that is best. Really, that is better. But even if we put up a little bit of effort in that, that will save us, that will protect us from the fearful state of samsara. That is the meaning of this sloka. So next we will go to the next sloka. So in these two slokas, what we have so far studied in this class, Yesha te abhihita sankhe neha vikramanashosti. These two slokas are to instigate the reader to take up the yoga path, or to inspire him. You see, don't do work in a random way according to your own whim and wishes, and don't follow your instincts. Follow the rules and conduct of the dharma, and do the work with a selfless motive, with concentrated mind, and also with the purity of the mind. So I can say there are three elements in karma yoga. So far we have studied. One is the selflessness, another is the concentration of the mind, and dedication of all action to the Lord. These are some of the three basic elements of karma yoga one has to follow. One will be protected from the great fear of the samsara. So Shankara here says the great fear, mahato bhaya, samsara bhayat, he says here. mahato bhayat, janma maranadi lakshanat. This is what he says here. So let us go to the next verse. This verse speaks about the importance of one-pointedness in the yoga. So if we can do all our with a single purpose, single objective, single motive, that is what is called karma yoga. If we have hundreds of desires and if we follow the path where we want to fill up too many desires, and according to the hundreds of desires our paths also will get multiplied, and in the each path again we develop still more desires, infinite desires and infinite paths. So infinite paths we follow and we try to get happiness or the ultimate contentment in each one of them, and we fail. Contentment and the happiness can be got by following a single path with one-pointedness, continuously striving for a noble objective. That noble objective here is God or the liberation or the moksha, whatever you call it. Only that can give us the lasting happiness and contentment. The desires, if we follow the desire, propelled by the desire, if you take up, if you get into hundreds of paths, hundreds of ways, oh, today I have a desire, I try to fulfill it. Next moment you will get another desire, you will try to fulfill it. Within that, it will get branched. Oh, for example, you want to eat outside, to go to a hotel and eat it and enjoy the food. Then you will think, which hotel I will go? Oh, there are hundreds of options. So in foreign countries, if you want to have a coffee, it's a very difficult thing. Which coffee you want, which brand you want, how much sugar you will want, how much caffeine you want. So hundreds of choices. It will take you nearly 10 to 15 minutes for to take a choice, to select the choices of the choices. There are 100 choices in this worldliness. You can go for this, I can go for this. Today you want to go somewhere, where I will go, which street we will go, which place I will go, which way I will enjoy, which dishes I will enjoy. Oh, this I will not, this I will. Oh, like that, the mind gets scattered out. Multiple paths, hundreds paths, infinite desires. It scatters like anything. That is what is called avyavasayatmika buddhi here. So what is vyavasayatmika buddhi is one-pointed with single objective. So today I have decided to come to ashrama. That is vyavasayatmika buddhi. Which ashrama? All this, of course, that is different issue at all. Ashrama means Ramakrishna ashrama. So you want to have one single objective. You follow the single path, single motive. That will give you lasting happiness, lasting contentment. At least you will not get disturbed. The scattered mind going here and there, it's always disturbing, restless. If you make a decision, then mind automatically becomes calm and serene. The calm and serene, which is flowing towards one goal, one-pointedness, that is what is called the vyavasayatmika buddhi. Now it is very easy to understand this shloka. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bhushaka hi anantascha buddhayaha avyavasayinam. So vyavasayatmika buddhi. Buddhi means here understanding. So when you follow a single path, you should have an understanding, a knowledge, a discriminative knowledge. Discriminative faculty you have to use. That is what is called viveka in Sanskrit. I don't follow this path. I don't want this. Discrimination or the viveka traditionally defined as the distinction, power to distinguish between what is real and what is not real. But in ordinary sense, we can say what is good and what is bad. So it is bad, it is not necessary for me to follow those paths. I will follow a single path. So out of that discrimination, one will follow the path. That is why this path is called the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So Shankaracharya defines it Nishchaya Swabhava. You have taken decision whether to go to ashrama or a temple or somewhere else, or let us stay in the home itself and watch the YouTube. So many decisions you have taken a decision now. I will go to ashrama. That is what is called Nishchaya Swabhava. So Nishchaya Swabhava, when you become committed to something, you have taken a decision, you are discriminated or you have that discernment of the mind, then you will follow one path, say single path. That is what is called here Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. And Shankaracharya also says, when you have that restlessness of following numerous paths, and that Vyavasayatmika Buddhi will prevent you from the having that restless mind of going to different paths. So it is better to have this Vyavasayatmika Buddhi and then allowing mind to go into diverse paths. So Vyavasayatmika Buddhi will prevent us from taking up numerous paths which make our mind restless, because you have used your discriminative mind and you have come to a decision. And pramana janita jnana, a kind of authority, your buddhi itself will say, your mind itself will say, this is the right path, follow it, and from that you will get the goodness. If you follow this path, it will lead to the highest good. So that is that kind of path. And the mind or the state of mind which makes you to follow a singular path of noble good, that is what is called here Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. How can the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi are numerous in nature? Vyavasayatmika Buddhi has to be one and the only one. Mind will flow towards one objective. That is what we try to achieve in meditation. So mind is diverse, mind is thinking of too much, mind is thinking of the numerous objectives or the objects. We gather the mind and we make the mind flow towards a particular object. That is the one-pointed mind. That one-pointed mind is what is called the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. That Vyavasayatmika Buddhi is only one-pointed. It cannot be diverse. In contrast, Bahushakahi Anantascha Buddhayaha Avyavasayinam. So this is the state of mind of Vyavasayinam. Vyavasayinam means those who are having the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Who are these Avyavasayis? Those minds are not one-pointed, they are called here Avyavasayi. In their case, the ignorant people, they are not able to discriminate what is good and what is wrong. Their minds or their concentration power is being diversified into several branches. That's why Krishna gives two epithets, two qualifications to Avyavasayatmika Buddhi. The mind which is not one-pointed. One is Bahushaka. Bahushaka means multi-branched. As I have already told you, whether I had to go to hotel, but which hotel I would go? There are hundreds of things, hotels are there. I will choose one. Then again, which thing I will eat? Again hundreds. So there are two qualifications, Bahushakaha. There are several ways, there are several branches to that kind of notion. And in each, there will be infinite options. Anantascha. So when you go, after all overthinking, muddling over which hotel I will go, you will go to a hotel and the thinking start what I will eat, because there are hundreds and hundreds of options. So the avyavasayika buddhi is branched into several branches, several paths, and each path there are hundreds and hundreds of options. So that is what is making our life really miserable, and because our mind is always ready. Which one to do? Which copy I will? The basic problem when we get up the early morning is what I will do or what I will eat for the breakfast. The problem starts there. What I will go, what I will do, what I will eat for the meal. So hundreds. So decision making itself is difficult for us. So we are always engaged in thinking several ways, several numerous options. Now options are increasing day by day nowadays. In olden days there were only 2-3 options. You have now hundreds of options. So avyavasayatmika buddhi is increasing. Now if Krishna had come here, he would have said Anant Bahushaka na. This itself is Ananta Shaka. Infinite branches, in each branch there is infinite options. So this is the meaning of avyavasayinam buddhayaha bahushakaha anantascha. Then you can ask, what is the problem? Let us have hundreds of options, hundreds of ways. What is the problem? The problem is we will lose the purpose of our life. There will be no single objective at all for what we are living. What is life meant for it? The single purpose of living itself will be lost. Then if purpose of life is no longer there, we will lose sight of our goal. Life will become meaningless. My life will be reduced to going for hundreds of options and hundreds of ways of pleasure, this pleasure, that pleasure. This pleasure is good, this eatery is good, that food is good, that seeing is good, this place is good. So we go on like this. Years and years and years will be spent like this, and there will be no place for God, there will be no place for spirituality in our life at all. The life will become meaningless. That is why Krishna's advice is, when you are doing any work, have a single objective. Work may be different. Morning I will do some work, afternoon I do a different work, evening I will take up a entirely another work. Wonderful. But while doing any work for that matter, you should have a single objective, single purpose. What is that purpose? I am dedicating all my actions to God, and I am doing every work to purify mind. I don't have any selfish interest in this, and I am hoping to get the knowledge by purity of the mind and the concentration of the mind. How this kind of work will help us in our meditation and also in gaining the knowledge. So it is a training period for us. We get trained into developing concentration. So we concentrate and do the work with a single objective. Our work efficiency will increase. If a teacher with concentrated mind, with dedicated mind teaches the children, he will become a good teacher. He may become a best teacher and a noble teacher also. It is same in every jobs or the occupations. So we will learn concentration of mind. That is very essential in Jnana Yoga, very essential for meditation also. Many people come here, they want to do meditation. The basic thing in meditation is concentration of mind. They don't have concentration of mind, they try to do meditation. How it is possible? So the training of the mind to get concentrated happens in the process of karma yoga. This is one thing. Second thing is, what we need is purity of mind. Our mind should be devoid of, bereft of. It should not contain any passions, too much of anger, too much of attachment, too much of greediness. These are called the worldliness. This with worldly tendency, full of passion, desires, dispositions in our mind, we will not be able to meditate or gain knowledge. We will not be able to think properly. What Jnana Yoga teaches is to think properly. We have to think properly in a proper, correct manner, in the prescribed manner. That is what is called Jnana Yoga. So if your mind is full of desires, how can we be able to think properly? So the purity of the mind and the concentration of the mind, these are two essential ingredients for Dhyana Yoga. That is, Krishna is going to teach further in, and also Jnana Yoga is we are being taught or being prescribed in the Karma Yoga. We are going to learn from that. So the problem is the religion has been reduced to some kind of ways of fulfilling the desires, and karma kanda is solely meant for it. The purpose of Veda is to teach the dharma. First of all, it takes up a man who is full of instincts. He is acting instinctively. Today I will do that, tomorrow I will do this. All through instincts. He has no guidance, no purpose, nothing. And that kind of man is similar to animal. There is no difference between animal behavior and the human behavior. That is why Veda teaches you have some desires, isn't it? You have desire for prosperity and you have desire to go to heaven, isn't it? I will find you, I will give you the way. I will give you the path through which you can achieve your goal in a rightful manner. That is the beginning of the teachings of Veda. That kind of teaching is called Karma Kanda. For performing the rituals, performing or the following certain rituals and conduct, you will be reaching the goal. You will be fulfilling your desires. So Karma Kanda is full of dharma through which one will get the goal or the results, like Swarga or the prosperity or sons or the wealth or etc. etc. But that is not enough. That will not make our mind, our life meaningful. That is not the end of the Veda. Veda also teaches to have a supreme goal. That is called moksha. So Veda teaches artha and dharma through which we can get artha and kama. Artha means wealth, kama means fulfilling desires. And Veda also teaches the path to the highest goal called the moksha. By knowledge, by proper understanding, by wisdom, by renunciation. That is the path of the Upanishad. That is the path of the Bhagavadgita. So Krishna in next 2-3 verses condemns the path of the Karma Kandas. Karma Kandins, those who follow that path, they say there is no better thing than gaining the wealth and the pleasure, etc. by following some rituals or the pujas or the sacrifices prescribed in the Vedas. That's all. There the purpose of life is over. There is nothing else. That is their opinion. Krishna condemns this. Krishna here he has become revolutionary. In those old days, the dharma was limited to rituals and ceremonies which are meant to go to heaven or which are meant to have prosperity in this life. But Krishna said that is not the purpose of the dharma. The purpose of the dharma is knowledge. Through knowledge only one can get the realization or the supreme bliss. In order to get the jnana or the knowledge, one should follow the path of karma yoga. So, in order to stress the point, emphasize the point that karma yoga has to be followed, he condemns the so-called kamya karmas, karmas done with the desires. That is what prescribed by the karma kanda of the Vedas. So, with this background, we shall start studying these three slokas. We have to study shloka number 42 and 43 together. Then only we will have a complete meaning out of them. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitaha vedavadarata partha nanyadasti te vadinaha kamatmanaha swargaparaha janma karma phalapradam kriya vishesha bhulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. Let us not worry about the phrases or the how to make it like a sentence wise, etc. It is too technical and difficult. If you take up any good book on Bhagavadgita, it will give you how to read it in a prose manner. We will take up only through ideas. First of all, there are some people, they are called here avipaschitaha. Avipaschita means vidwan, intelligent man. Avipaschita means one is a fool, dull-witted man, one who is not able to discriminate, one who is not able to distinguish what is good and what is bad. And such an ordinary person, a dull-witted man, a dull person is called here avipaschitaha. So such people, Vedavada Rataha, they always engaged in speaking about the Vedavada. Here Vedavada means Karma Kanda Veda, that we have to understand, which emphasizes only on rituals and ceremonies and get some result out of it, wealth, pleasures, Swarga, etc., etc. So the Vedavada Rataha. So this avipaschitaha vedavada rataha nanyadasti iti vadinaha. They say there is nothing greater than getting that results. What results you want? I want more cattle, more wealth, more pleasure. I want to go to heaven. This is the greatest objective of the life. This is the greatest goal of the life. There is nothing greater other than it. So these people say like this, they profess, they argue like this. That is why they are called nanyadasti. There is nothing else other than this. Like this they argue. Such people are nanyadasti iti vadinaha. Why they behave so? They behave so because their mind is filled with lot of desires. Mind with filled these desires. Desire to get the cattle, desire to get the pleasure, desire to get the wealth, desire to get that, desire to get this. They are always after that. They are always after that. That is why they follow the path or the dharma of rites and rituals which guarantee them. By following a certain ritual, you will get certain wealth. By following this, you will get that. So they follow that dharma. And fundamentally, they say they are all Swarga Paraha. Their goal is to go to heaven after the death. Why should we go to heaven? It's a very interesting question. What is there in the heaven? It is just like many people want to go to America. What is there in the America? We have more pleasures, intense pleasures, and easy money, pleasure, everything in abundance we have in America. That is why poor people from India, they want to go to America. So heaven is nothing but an America in more intense pleasure you can have. Maybe 100 Amerisas will make you one heaven, that's all. There is nothing more than the heaven. And after some time they find the life in America is distasteful, very difficult to live, or so many problems, they come back. Pushine punye martyalokam vishanti. So, as long as you have that punya, you have accumulated the merit to enjoy the pleasures of Swarga, you will live there, enjoy the pleasures. The intensity of pleasure is more there, so that you can have abundance of pleasure, no suffering, nothing, no karma to do, simply enjoyment, simple enjoyment, that's all. So, that is what Swarga. Their goal is always after Swarga. What I can do to go to heaven? So Vedas says, you do certain karma, yajna and yaga, you will go to heaven. So they are always after that. So these words have to be understood. These are the qualification of people, worldly minded people, you can say. Avipaschitaha, they are non-intelligent, they have no intelligence, they have no wisdom, they have no knowledge. Vedavadarataha, they profess only those portions of the Vedas, the Karma Kanda, which promises wealth here and the Swarga hereafter. Nanyadasti iti vadinaha. They say nothing higher than this. The goal of human life is to get pleasure or go to heaven. That's all. Because they are filled with desires, kama atmanaha, and they are after the heaven, Swarga paraha. Such kind of people. So this is one stage of understanding these two slokas. What they do? Vacham pravadanti. They speak about that only. You go to a place's market or the some pleasure houses or some shops or hotels, people talk about pleasures only. They don't have anything else to speak. They don't speak of Bhagavadgita in that places. They don't speak of God in those places. They don't speak of the higher values of life in those places. They speak only the worldliness. What kind of worldliness? Pushpitam vacham, flowery talks. If you invest in this small company, you will get that much return. If you do this work, you will get this much money. Even the 80-year people will be speaking in that way. There are hardly few days left for them. Hardly few years maybe. They will go to another loka. No money, no wealth, no real estate, no stock, nothing there. Still they always think about that, they speak about that. Flowery talk. Pushpitam vacham. Shankaracharya explains, suppose a tree is full of flowers, how beautiful it looks, how romantic it looks. Oh, the wonderful tree full of flowers. My mind is full of happiness, the poet described. And after some time, all the flowers will drop away. That is the tragedy. Oh, all the flowers have gone. Oh, my mind is in misery. So, pushpitam vacham, flowery talk, there is no stuff in that. There is no substance in their speeches. So, they speak about only these things. What kind of speech they do? Janma karma palapradam vacham pravadanti. They speak about those things through which they will some kind result. The whole human life has become result oriented. I will go to ashrama, what I will get from that? Is there any benefit for me by going to Ramakrishna ashrama? You will come to office and ask, any benefit? And what benefit you will have? No benefit. So what kind of phala you will get by doing actions with desires? You will get another janma, that's all. So that you can enjoy more. You do karma in this janma, in birth, there is not much time for you to enjoy that karma. You will get the next janma to enjoy that result, that's all. So, one janma leads to another janma, that next janma leads to succeeding janma. Just to enjoy. You do actions, good action, bad action. Good actions will lead to good result, bad actions will lead to bad results. You have to enjoy that, you will get the next janma. There you will not keep quiet, we will not keep quiet. Again we will do good and bad actions, the results we will get in the next dharma. Like this, the succession of janmas will go on. That is what is called samsara. So, janma karma prarapradam vacham pravadanti, they speak only about it. The content of their speech, their conversation is only about how to reap a result, what to get the result, money, wealth, nothing else. Next, kriya vishesha bahulam. So, in order to get the result, you have to do numerous types of karma. One type of action is not enough. To get the spiritual benefit, only one path, vyavasayatmika buddhi. Here numerous kind of action, kriya vishesha. Each action is different from others. That is why it is called kriya vishesha. And they are numerous in number. They are innumerable in number. That is called bahulam. They go on speaking about this. Bhogaishwarya gatim pratim vacham pravadanti. So their only objective is twofold. One is enjoyment, that is bhoga. Another is affluence, power. If you have enjoyment, after some time you will think of power. This enjoyment, I have enjoyed enough. What I want is my power. You enjoy the power, then more power, still more power. I want to become that, I want to become that. There is no end for it. So, they think they are result oriented, they speak of the results which result into janma, numerous janma, and they speak of hundreds and thousands of different rituals, different ceremonies, pujas, through which we can get that bhoga and aishwarya. Their talk is centered on only bhoga and aishwarya, enjoyment and the affluence. Such people, for them there is no vyavasayatmika buddhi. Mind doesn't settle in vyavasayatmika buddhi. That idea Krishna gives in the shloka number 44 that we will study in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.